Hello everyone, welcome back to another video now. Today I thought I'd show you around my allotment and what's happening in June. My name's Richard and I am on a mission to grow as much food as I possibly can. On my allotment and modern victory garden we have plenty of land in which to achieve this. And this is my video diary. Well, here we are on my allotment. Now I'll start on this half of the allotment. As you know, I've actually got two sides to my plot, effectively two plots, and this side has, well, quite a bit going on actually. Down in the far corner I have my cherry tree, and that is producing some fantastic cherries. They're not quite ripe just yet, but they are certainly getting there, and there's quite a few of them. I'm sure that once they are ripe it's going to be a mission to beat the birds to them, but I'm looking forward to that. Great thing is I'm down here daily almost, so I can kind of pick them as needed. Now, just in front of Grandad's greenhouse, I've changed things up a bit. I've added another wicking bed made out of an old toolbox. Similar sort of thing to the wicking beds I did at home, where I just drilled a hole to let water out about an inch or two up from the bottom. Filled with perlite, compost and planted into that. I've got at the moment a tomato plant and a cucumber plant in there. And it's staying moist, which is what I really am looking forward to seeing how well this works. It was just a fact that I had this toolbox lying around, the lid was broken, and I thought it would be useful for a wicking bed. Now along with that I've also got 3 grow bags that I'm also growing tomatoes in, and I'm doing a bit of an experiment. One of these bags, the compost I'm using is actually not peat free, which I know is not a good thing. But I know a lot of people do debate whether peat was good in compost. So I'm comparing, we've got 2 bags of peat-free compost and a bag of peat-included compost. We'll see how they get on. Again, tomatoes just in there, nothing complicated, nothing difficult about that. Now inside Grandad's greenhouse, tomatoes are growing well. We're getting tomatoes which aren't quite ripe just yet, but again, they are growing and they are producing. I've also made some more wicking beds out of some old paint cans. This is just something I'm trying to do a lot. I am finding these wicking beds are working really well on an allotment because they don't need as much watering. Just once a week is enough, especially in the greenhouse. Now in the main beds, well, the broad beans, which are just down here by the side of me, they are producing broad beans. We've been getting quite a few of them and they're really tasty, but we are getting the black fly infestation. I'm not overly worried by that because it won't be long until those broad beans are out anyway, and that'll be that. Shallots aren't doing much. They are nearly time to harvest those, but I have found that where I've mulched those with grass, it's retained moisture in the soil and it's less weeding, so it's been fantastic using grass. Three Sisters bed isn't doing much, so I won't talk too much about that. My brassica bed, I planted these out a few weeks ago, and the brassicas seem to be off to a really good start. Unfortunately, I am noticing something is nibbling at the leaves. Probably pigeons or something, so I have got to pot a scarecrow or something up, which is going to be something I'm planning to do over this next week. Now down the far end, my last 2 beds, they have got onions and garlic in them. The garlic is basically, the rust has got so bad, the leaves have now all gone yellow, so I think it is time to really harvest those garlic up, which is great because that will mean I can then replace that bed with the newer wood that I'm using. And the onions, some of those have now started to topple over, which is an indication that they are nearly ready for harvesting, which is what I really want. Right, I'm going to talk about the next half of the plot now. Right, well, on this half of the plot I've not really got a huge amount to talk about just yet. Right at that very back there are some currant bushes which are starting to fruit and produce, which is great. It's just so difficult to keep the weeds free on that area, especially as my neighbour over the winter had some of their weed membrane fly off and it's got tangled around some of my currants. And I've got, at this end, I've got more brassicas, which they're doing okay. Here I've got more onions. Now these onions are going to have to come out in the next day or two because I need to use this area to get my sweet potatoes in. Unfortunately, I've pretty much used up all my space, but those onions they're not quite ready, but I don't think they're going to grow much more, and at the end of the day we eat onions quite regularly. Here, this is my potato bed, and the potatoes I've earthed up with some fresh compost. They're growing pretty well actually. They're a little slow for my liking. I would have expected them to be a bit bigger by now, but they seem to be doing okay. In between the rows I have actually added some more grass clippings. I'm using grass clippings a lot this year. I have kind of just discovered how good they actually are, especially at keeping couch grass down. Now, down this side I used straw on the strawberries, and that's been quite difficult because, well, they don't seem to be stopping the couch grass as much. So I think a combination of grass clippings and in straw would have helped. Now, that being said, the strawberries that we are getting, and we're getting strawberries quite plentiful, really nice, really juicy, really full of flavour. So I'm actually pretty pleased with that. Now, a couple of weeks ago I put some beans in. They're not really doing much. I can't talk about those so well. They're growing, they're there, that's about it really. And really, that is all that seems to be happening on this side at the moment. It's interesting because I tend to do that side over the winter and then come to this side in the summer, and now we're sort of, this side is going to overtake that side is the idea. But overall, we are producing food, we aren't going hungry, and I'm happy with how things are going. So how's your allotment looking, and what have you been up to today on your own plot? Please let me know down below in the comments. But that's what I'm up to today. Please take care. I'll see you on the next one.